Most people today live in a kind of financial simulation, manipulated by inflation, central banks, and consumerism. We use money every day, earning and spending, without realizing we might be like prisoners in a cave, mistaking shadows on a wall for reality. Over 2,000 years ago, the philosopher Plato told a parable that sheds light on this situation. Imagine a group of prisoners chained in a dark cave since birth, facing a blank wall. Behind them a fire burns, casting shadows on the wall as unseen puppeteers pass objects in front of it. For these prisoners, the shadows are the only reality they've ever known. They name these shadows and believe they understand their world, but in truth, they're seeing only illusions projected by others. Now suppose one prisoner is freed and steps outside. At first, the brightness is blinding and painful after a lifetime of darkness, and he nearly turns back. But as his eyes adjust, he begins to see the world beyond the cave, vivid colors and real objects, trees, animals, people, everything that casts the shadows. He even sees the sun, the source of all the light. What he thought was reality in the cave was only a pale shadow of the true world. Eager to share his revelation, the freed prisoner returns to the cave to tell the others. Back in the darkness, he can barely see, and the others think the journey has harmed him. He describes the outside world, but they laugh and call him crazy. The idea of a reality beyond their shadows is too absurd for them to accept. As Plato wrote, those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. This allegory is a remarkably apt metaphor for our financial world today. The cave is our fiat money system, and the shadows are the illusions of wealth and value that we take for reality. We see the numbers in our bank accounts and prices in stores, and we assume they're solid. But behind the scenes, governments and central banks act like these puppet masters, manipulating what we perceive and believe. Consider inflation. It's like a puppet master slowly changing the shapes of the shadows. We see prices rise, things get more expensive, but many don't realize it's because the value of our money is being diluted. Central banks create money out of thin air or push interest rates down, and for a time, it creates an illusion of prosperity. But in reality, our purchasing power is eroding in the background. Meanwhile, a culture of consumerism keeps us distracted in the cave. We're encouraged to borrow and spend, to chase the latest products. Buying a new car or phone might feel like success, but often that lifestyle is built on debt, which just keeps us chained. It's a cycle of working and borrowing, chasing shadows of wealth, while true financial freedom remains out of reach. These moments are cracks in the cave wall, glimpses that something isn't right with the shadows. A person might start to ask, why does my money buy less each year? Who decided it should be this way? Such questions mark the beginning of turning one's head toward the light. In 2009, an anonymous figure named Satoshi Nakamoto offered a way out of this cave. He invented Bitcoin, a decentralized digital currency outside the control of any government or bank. In essence, Satoshi tossed a rope into the cave for anyone willing to climb. Bitcoin changed the game. Its supply is capped at 21 million. Its ledger is public, and no central authority pulls the strings. For the first time, there was a form of money not dictated by the whims of a puppet master behind the scenes. Satoshi understood the core issue. He wrote, "The root problem with conventional currency is all the trust that's required to make it work. The central bank must be trusted not to debase the currency, but the history of fiat currencies is full of breaches of that trust." This was an early warning sign. Our currency system asks us to trust authorities, not to debase our money, yet time again, that trust has been broken. Bitcoin was designed to remove this vulnerability. Its rules are transparent and fixed in code. No one can arbitrarily print more coins or change the rules. What you see is what you get, all out in the open. Choosing Bitcoin can feel like stepping out of the cave into bright sunlight. It might be uncomfortable at first because it challenges a lifetime of assumptions about money. Many people hesitate or reject it initially, preferring the familiarity of the old system. But those who do take the step discover that they can see the financial world with new clarity. They realize money doesn't have to constantly lose value. It can be something scarce, transparent, and within their own control. Early Bitcoin adopters felt like this freed prisoner trying to convince others. They were mocked and dismissed as foolish or crazy. Established bankers and economists insisted the old financial system was just fine and that this magical internet money was a dangerous fad. For many, the idea of an open, uncontrolled currency was too bizarre to take seriously. It was easier to assume the familiar shadows were the only true reality. However, over the years the cracks in the cave have grown larger. Major events like bank failures, bailouts, and surging inflation have shaken people's confidence. Each crisis we experience is a reminder that the system isn't as stable or fair as we were led to believe. And with each shock, more individuals start looking for that rope out. Bitcoin's appeal has grown as trust in traditional finance begins to completely shatter. Gradually, more prisoners are turning their heads and walking towards this new light, curious about a different financial reality. Today, millions of people worldwide have stepped out of the financial cave by embracing Bitcoin. Many say that once you truly understand a form of money that doesn't lose value over time and isn't under central control, you can't go back. It changes how you think about money and wealth. And as more people see this light, they often reach back to help others still in the cave by sharing knowledge and building communities. Plato's cave ended with the prisoners in the dark, but our story doesn't have to end that way. We don't need to remain chained by financial illusions. Bitcoin offers a chance to step into the light of a more truthful financial system. Bitcoin is the escape rope out of the cave of a false reality.